In this training, we're going to be walking through how to use Voyant's historic simulation. This simulation allows you to map historic market volatility onto your client's plan to see how your client's plan might react and hold up under historic market volatility. Let's take a look at this simulation. I'm going to go to our insights section, and you can either look through our insights or you can search. And I'm going to open this one up. And just a reminder, if you ever have questions about what any of these simulations do, you can click on our help section here. You have access to the historic simulation mappings for the S&P 500 from anywhere between 2022 and 1950, and you can use these slider bars to select the time period that you would like to map onto your client's assets. Now, another thing I did want to point out to you is you'll notice here that it's notating which accounts are affected. The accounts do need to be in an asset allocation for this to work. So it will note which of your accounts are going to be using this simulation. And you can also say grow all investment or retirement accounts using an asset allocation. I'm just going to run this on my accounts that are in an asset allocation, and then I'm going to use my slider bar to say what years I want to use for the simulation. So now that I've selected my time period, I'm going to get started and let the simulation run on my client's plan. Give that just a moment. And I'm going to compare this plan to my existing plan. So we're now looking at the insight results. One thing you'll note is that we're not seeing any shortfall in my client's plan after running this simulation. So that's good news. But another thing to look at is compare this plan to your client's base plan. And let's take a look at how this is going to affect your client's asset values. So if we look at the two plans side by side, and you might even start by looking at the plans at the end, you can see roughly a $5 million difference between the ending values of their assets. I might even turn on the details and just remove their home so that we're only looking at liquid asset values so that we can really see the difference between those two items. And you can see the asset value difference between the plan with some mapped on market volatility and the one where we're just modeling year-on-year growth. So this can give you an idea of how your client's plan would react to some historic market volatility. And you can always run different variations of the simulation depending on what it is that you're trying to model. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions or you'd like some assistance running this simulation or anything else in your client's plan, remember you can always click the name of your client in the top right corner, select Request Support, enter your question into the text box, and share client access. Thanks for listening.